And leadership can be found anywhere. You don't have to be something to do something. You don't need a fancy title. Everybody has the capacity to be fully expressive, to step up and step in. I'm reminded of that, by the way, every single year. We have Cesar Chavez Day in California, but he never served 1 hour as governor of California. You think about some of the most transformative leaders in our life. You think about some of the most iconic leaders like Dr. King or Havel or Mandela, or people like, Cesar Chavez himself. And at the peak of their influence, they had one thing in common, and that was jail time. It was just kind of interesting. I don't think Gandhi spent a day of his life as prime minister. But all of them had something much more powerful than formal authority. They had something you have in abundance, and that's called moral authority. I never imagined the shock and awe of this first 6 months. I never imagined the full-on assault of institutions on knowledge, on truth, censoring historic facts, rewriting history across the spectrum. I remember I had the Kennedy Center, that's interesting, and then it was the Smithsonian, and then it's the Library of Commerce, then it's the Endowment for Humanities. Then he starts going after the Inspector Generals, he starts going after the Consumer Protection Bureau, and then a full-on assault of bureaucrats and public servants, NOAA, issues, National Institute of Health, NSF. And then we start going after institutions of higher learning as establishment plots, public education, public educators, libraries, all of this in just a matter of months. But one thing I never imagined, and what I hope he would delay, was the full-on assault of my state, particularly when he nationalized, or rather federalized, the National Guard. I want you to know that in the United States of America today, there are 5,000 military personnel on the streets of one American city. There are quite literally 4,974 U.S. military in Los Angeles. The United States Marines and a federalized 4,000 federalized National Guard, terrorizing our diverse communities. Just 48 hours ago, we were reflecting on one of the most devastating disasters in modern American history. And that was the devastation of 18,000 homes and 30 lives that were lost in a winter wildfire, which was a fire attached to 100-mile-an-hour winds that went through Palisades and Altadena, California. And we marked that moment somberly with community leaders to talk about resilience in the recovery effort. This was just 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago, we were learning about children literally washed away in Texas. A 13-year-old girl, still hand in hand with her 11-year-old sister, passed away because of the devastation of those floods. You would think on that moment, with Texas, it's what happened in Los Angeles, the President of the United States just might, not send a tweet. Or if he did, just express in the principles that define the best of this country coming out of the 4th of July, to express a little bit of empathy, a little bit of care, a little bit of compassion. Do you know what the President decided to do at the exact same time as our press conference, marking this moment of resilience in Los Angeles? He sent out the National Guard, Black Hawk helicopters, tanks. He put these masked guards on horseback with giant American flags in the middle of the day in MacArthur Park near downtown Los Angeles as children were playing soccer in day camps.
Shame!
It was shameful in every way to create fear and anxiety for the sole purpose. There wasn't one arrest, not one, for the sole purpose of cruelty. That's Donald Trump's America. That's the moment we're living in. They're testing the boundaries of their executive capacity, and they're doing so in Los Angeles. I assure you, this is a preview of things to come.
Got it.